This is worksheet 18.5, and we're going to start with this function here, numbers 1 through 6. So given this function, f of x equals 1/3 x minus 1, first thing we're going to do is just complete a table for the function. So if we input -6 in for x, we get 1/3 of -6 is -2, minus 1 is -3. If we plug -3 in, that becomes a -1 minus 1. -2. Plugging 0 in, we get -1. If we plug 3 in, we get 1 minus 1, or 0. 1/3 of 6 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. So the definition of an inverse, when it comes to this table of inputs versus outputs, is that the inputs and outputs are just switched, or swapped. So I'm just going to put all the x values in the output row, and then all the outputs are going to go in the input row. So you're basically just switching your x and y values. How are the function and inverse tables related? So our input and output are switched. So we're going to graph the original function and the inverse function on the same axis, so we can see graphically what an inverse function looks like. So this graph right here, we could plot these points, or we can also notice that this is a line. So to graph a line, we could look at the y-intercept of -1 and a slope of 1/3, so up 1/3. And then our inverse function here, as of now we haven't written the equation, so I'm just going to go ahead and plot some points on the line. So -3, -6, -2, -3, -1, 0, and so on. And if you look at these two graphs, number 5 is asking to, with a dotted line, draw a line of symmetry on the image. So the line of symmetry of the function and the inverse function is always going to be this dotted line, which has the equation y equals x. So this line right here is the line y equals 1x. If we wrote an equation to represent the inverse function, this line here, again, we have a line with a y-intercept of 3. If we write this in mx plus b form, y-intercept of 3 and a slope of +3.